Thank you very much indeed, Istis. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Minister. It is a great honour to be here. I feel humbled to be here among all of you, so many of you here this morning in Vilnius. Can I begin by congratulating you all? First of all, congratulations for what you have achieved so far. Lithuania has comfortably met its 2020 renewable energy target. As the Minister has already shown, you met it back in 2014. You may have seen last week the Eurostat data, which shows that 14 member states of the EU are not meeting their target. That includes Germany, France, Spain, and Poland. They also said that the EU collectively is not on track to meet the 20% target by 2020. We're only at 18%. But you are giving a very good example, not only to your neighbours in Central and Eastern Europe, but to the rest of Europe for how to do it. An even bigger congratulations for the huge level of ambition that you have set out in this document, your National Energy and Climate Plan for 2030. Not all of these have yet been sent to the European Commission, but in WindEurope we have read those that have been submitted, and I'm pleased to share with you this is the best we have seen so far. So Minister and everybody else involved in this, many congratulations to you. What is so good about it? Well, it's the clarity of the vision, it's the simplicity, as you've seen from the Minister's slides, and crucially, it is that level of ambition of 100% renewables by 2050, the huge increase in renewable production in electricity and in the rest of the energy system by 2030. I should congratulate you also in having sent to Brussels not only the youngest commissioner that the European Commission has ever had, the youngest by some distance, Mr Sinkevičius, but also arguably one of the most dynamic, intelligent and resourceful commissioners we have seen. And it's great that he has the portfolio for the environment and the oceans. In just a few weeks' time, he will be presenting the biodiversity strategy, which is a very important part of the EU's new Green Deal. And I trust that you are talking to him closely about what that strategy should entail. It is not without relevance for all of us in the wind industry. Splendid. So many congratulations on everything that you have achieved and on everything that you are going to achieve. Can I now put where you are and where you plan to be in a wider European context? I'm going to show you a map of Europe which shows where wind energy is today. So the blue bars are the amount of wind energy installed in every country in gigawatts. The red bars are the share of wind in every country's electricity mix. You can see we've got 194 gigawatts installed now across Europe. We are 14% of Europe's electricity. Next month we will publish the updated figures for 2019. These are 2018 numbers. Let's now zoom in on the Baltic region. That's the picture today. You can see in a little bit more detail your own numbers there. Let us now take the numbers that are in your National Energy and Climate Plan, the numbers only for onshore, not including the 350 or 700 megawatts for offshore wind. And let's compare your numbers to the numbers we have seen or we expect to see in other countries' national energy and climate plans for 2030. There we are. You can see quite a big increment for Lithuania compared to others, especially in that red bar. Let's just go back. That's where you are today, and compare your increment with other countries' increments. And it looks as though you are the leader here in the Baltic region. And these are only the numbers for onshore wind. So this is something you should be very proud of. And increasingly, I'm pleased to report, in fact, increasingly it's now firmly established, you are seen as a model country, not just in the Central European region, but in the wider EU. That is how you are perceived by the European Commission and the European Parliament and other national governments. So many congratulations on that. Congratulations also on the progress you are making already to implementing these ambitions. The Minister has talked about the recent auctions and the next auctions that will come very soon. And it's great that things are happening so quickly and that there's so much interest among the industry that the last auction was heavily oversubscribed, and we anticipate the next ones will be as well. As the Minister has said, you are now designing the auction for the offshore wind, and you may be looking to adjust the design of the auction for onshore wind as well. And I just want to share with you lessons that we have learned over the last years from the rest of Europe. I want to show you the auction system that was first designed in the United Kingdom, has now been copied by France, by Poland, and is likely to be copied by Spain. And this is the contract for difference, the two-sided contract for difference. So you bid into the auction at a fixed strike price. I will build this offshore wind farm for 50, 60 euros, and you, the government, guarantee me that revenue for the first 15 years of the life of that wind farm. Then we see here the wholesale electricity price. That's going to be my core revenue, and you, the government, will top up that revenue between the market price and the strike price that I bid into the auction with. If, here we are, and this is what you will pay me, when the market price is below my strike price. But when the market price goes above the strike price, I will pay you back. Now in this model here, we're not paying back very much because the strike price is relatively high, the wholesale prices are relatively low. In practice, we are moving towards a world now where those strike prices are quite closely aligned with the market price. If you take the last Polish auction, it was the world's largest ever auction dedicated to onshore wind, 2.2 gigawatts. They announced the results just before Christmas. The bids were between 39 and 55 euros. The wholesale price in Poland today is 52 euros, and they're applying exactly this model. So the winners of the auction are actually going to be paying back to the government more than the government is going to be paying them. The government will be in the money. Now, let's look at the numbers for the UK government, because they're the government in Europe that have had the most experience with this system. Today, the UK has 10 gigawatts of offshore wind, more than any other country in the world. But they want even more. By 2030, they want that number, plus 30 gigawatts. How much do they think it's going to cost them to build 30 gigawatts of new offshore wind using the contract for difference auction model? Well, they've calculated, those wind farms are going to be paying us back quite a lot of the time. Yeah, there'll be times when the market price is low and we are paying them, but it's not going to cost us much money. We can do 30 gigawatts for that amount of money. That is an M and not a billion. You see, that only costs the UK £500 million to build 30 gigawatts of offshore wind. It's a very good model, it's cheap for the taxpayer. And there's a second thing about this model that is so good. and that is the revenue stability it gives to the wind farm operators. When we go to the banks or to the institutional investors and we say, we've won an auction, now please lend us the money to finance the development of this project. They say to us, okay, what's your revenue perspective? If we say to them the revenue perspective is a wholesale market price, they say, that's not very clear, is it? You're completely in the hands of the market. If we say to them, I've got a contract for difference from a government for 15 years, they say, aha, stable revenues for 15 years. We like that. We will therefore lend you money at much less interest. We've just done an analysis with our banks, who are members of WindEurope, of what is that difference in the interest charged in the total capital costs for a wind farm that simply has revenue from the wholesale price compared to a wind farm that has 15 years guaranteed revenue from a contract for difference. And the answer is, it's 2.5 percentage points difference in the total costs of capital. That is the difference. So if we look at what the impact is here for a project, look at the light green. Here is your increment in total capital costs because of those 2.5 percentage point difference you're having to pay on the money you're borrowing to build your wind farm. And this makes the total economics of that wind farm very different to what it would be if you had the guaranteed revenue. So our suggestion to you would be to look very closely at this model as you finalize the design of the auction scheme for your large offshore wind farms, and to bear in mind this model and the importance of minimizing capital costs as you go forward to implement your very ambitious goals. But once again, many congratulations on this. It's fantastic to see that Lithuania is giving such a great lead, and we look forward, Minister, and all of you, to continuing to work very closely with you. Thank you very much.